All right, last hour, Larry in North Bergen, New Jersey, asked if we could share a cut from Representative Bill Pascrell, a Democrat from New Jersey, who's speaking out against H.R. 822 on the floor of the House today. We've got this queued up and ready to go. So, Larry, by request, here is one of the Garden State gun grabbers.
I had to make a choice on this bill, whether I would support a disputable constitutional issue about whether you can, by law, carry a concealed weapon, or move towards the other side to those who oppose this. Now, who opposes this?
Stop for a second. I love the way he sets this up. I had to make a decision here. Whether or not I would choose a disputable constitutional right. You know what? I wonder what he chose. I don't know. The foreshadowing is killing me. What's he going to do? Is he going to vote for it? Is he going to vote against it? All right, let's listen.
Legislation, besides me. Mayors Against Illegal Guns, the International Association of Chiefs of Police,
Funded by the Joyce Foundation,
the Major Cities Chiefs Association, and the Police Foundation opposed this bill. Doesn't this mean anything to you at all? Doesn't it? Or does it? I prefer community policing than try to put more guns into the hands of those people who we don't even know are going to be trained to even use them. That's my preference, Mr. Chairman. This means my home state of New Jersey.
Let's stop for a second. Let's just stop for a second. It's like they've never heard of right to carry before. Now, again, Florida has been shall issue since '87. We now have 41 states in the country that are shall issue. New Jersey is not among them, sadly. New Jersey is still a may issue state, which means, practically speaking, it is a no issue state. But for Representative Pascrell, well, we're going to put more guns in the hands of these people we don't even know. Do you know what it takes to get a concealed carry license in most states, Representative? Not even in your state. You know, in fact, we kept hearing all this talk about, these other states with the lax gun laws. Okay, what one? What state are you talking about? When you think about the poster child of, anybody can get a concealed carry license in this state, what state are you referring to? I'd really love to know. Because then we can start talking about how concealed carry has worked in that particular state. The thing is, they throw this language out there like it's supposed to scare us. No, I'm telling you, there is a state out there, they'll give guns to anybody. I can't tell you what state it is, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. But there is a state out there. If I told you what it was, it'd be all over. Just tell us. What are you talking about? You talking about Virginia? Are you talking about Florida? Are you talking about Utah? What state are you talking about? Give me the state, and we can start discussing facts and figures rather than fear in ignorance. All right, back to Representative Pascrell from New Jersey.
This is not Idaho. This is not Montana. We're
okay. Well, there you go.
The most densely populated state in the union. There is a different culture. When Clinton argued in behalf of guns.
Stop with the rights based on population density. This isn't Idaho. Not Montana or Wyoming with these wide open spaces and you hillbillies. This is New Jersey. I've been to New Jersey quite a bit, as a matter of fact. My dad lives in New Jersey. My in-laws live in New Jersey. I've been to New Jersey. And if I'm driving on the Garden State Parkway or the New Jersey Turnpike, it's late at night, car breaks down, I'd like to be able to protect myself. I know it's a densely populated state, but I'd still like to have my Second Amendment rights. And the idea that our constitutional rights, our individual rights, somehow get more restricted depending on where we live or what zip code we're in is absurd. New Jersey's gun laws are so bad that a guy who actually complied with the law was put in prison for 5 years. He did everything he was supposed to do. I'm talking about Brian Aiken, who had moved to the state and was moving, and he had his guns in the back of his car, locked up, unloaded. But the police decided, oh, we don't like this interpretation of moving. We don't really think you were moving. So we're going to arrest you. We're going to charge you. And they tried him. And the judge in the case would not let the jury hear all of the facts about the statute and what Mr. Aiken was doing, and he was convicted. He ultimately got out, thanks to the efforts of gun owners in the state of New Jersey and the NRA. But, I got to tell you, Representative Pascrell, I would not be holding up New Jersey's gun laws as an example of how the rest of the country should be. All right, more from Bill Pascrell, from New Jersey.
Possession, when he was the president of the United States, he always made this point about the cultural differences in different parts of the country. We respect that. I'm not against the Second Amendment. I support the Second Amendment. But I don't want those folks in the street who are out armed and are gunned our police officers. Okay. 12,000 less police officers.
Stop. When, Representative, when did right-to-carry holders declare war on police? I mean, really, statistically speaking, right-to-carry holders are far more law-abiding than the general population. So if you're saying, I don't want these people around here armed, what about the people who have access to kitchen knives? What about the people who have access to rolling pins? What about the people who, again, are criminals and don't obey the law and do purchase their guns illegally on the black market, or they steal them from somebody's home? I don't want those people on the streets, but you know what? They are, and I have a right to protect myself from them. All right, a little bit more from Representative Pascrell.
We have in this country. Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. 12,000 less police officers in our streets. We should be worried about that as a priority rather than this as a priority. So I made the decision. The evidence is like this against doing this. We haven't had any legislation which took away one gun in the past 20 years from anybody in this country. Not one. So we have made the perception being that we want to take guns away from people. How dare you even say it? Protect our police. Don't vote for this.
Wow, that was like a fireworks explosion of crazy there at the end. That was all over the place. All right, where do we start? 12,000 less police officers on the street. Pretty good argument for me to be able to carry, right? Protect police. Well, okay, look, I'd love to see. I would love to see. We talk about this on the program all the time. The cuts to public safety budgets, the fact that in Oakland, California, if you get burgled, you have been told by your local police department, and this is even before the occupiers started taking up so much officer time, that if you get burgled, don't call the police. They don't have time to handle burglary calls anymore. Instead, you're supposed to go down to the police department, fill out a form on a little kiosk, or if you were burgled and they stole some of your stuff, but they left your computer behind, you can go online from your burgled house and you can fill out the form there. I mean, we've talked about the cuts to public safety budgets around the country. It is concerning. But again, it's also it's not a reason to say that I shouldn't have a right to carry. All the more reason I should have a right to carry. As for the fact that in the span of about 10 seconds, Representative Pascrell said, I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. You know, we haven't had a law taking a gun away from somebody in like 20 years. First time I've heard a Second Amendment supporter bemoan the fact that we haven't passed a bill to take anybody's gun away for a while. But here's the thing, Representative. When you say, and I'm not even sure how long Pascrell has been in office. I got to check on this. I'm curious. Cameron is furiously typing away here. Because I'm curious, when there was the vote back in 2004 on whether or not to renew the Clinton gun ban, 97. So how did he vote? If you can find this information, Cameron, you're going to get Producer of the Year. How did Bill Pascrell vote? Second Amendment supporter Bill Pascrell, he said. Self-avowed Second Amendment supporter Bill Pascrell. How did he vote back in 2004 on the vote to renew the Clinton gun ban? I'm guessing I know the answer to this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he probably wanted to pass it. This Second Amendment supporter, who so reluctantly cast his vote against national right to carry reciprocity because of the police. Right. Now, again, I think we've pointed out not just the logical fallacy in that argument, but the utter stupidity in that argument. Amazing that groups funded by the Anti-Gun Choice Foundation are speaking out against H.R. 822, isn't it?